Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Web&Apps with Edith. Today the topic is HTML frames demo. My previous video, if you have not watched, please do watch my previous video where I have explained about the frame tag. The same video link will be there in my description as well as on the right hand side top you can see a card which is popping up which talks about HTML frames. You can click over there and even watch that video. Let's start with the demo of frames. I have kept a skeleton of my HTML ready. HTML head title, and I've closed my head and the HTML. As in my previous video, you must have seen I have mentioned an important note that you cannot write frame set tag with the body tag. So when you have to divide your page into frames, you cannot use a body tag. Instead, we'll be using a frame set tag. So let's start with frame set tag. So I've written frame set. I will divide my page into column. We know the attributes which goes with that is cols and rows for dividing it into column and for dividing it into row. And we give the value. We know we have to give the value either in percentage or in pixel values, or we can just give an asterisk for a specific data to come. Now I have given 50-50 percentage as my value. Now frame set call will be divided my page into a percentage of 50. So it will be dividing my entire browser page into two columns. And frame set is a container tag. We need to give a closing tag as well. Let's run to see what is coming up. You can see nothing is visible on my screen. Because frame set tag to work, you need to have the sub tag as well. And the sub tag is frame tag. With the frame tag, you need to write the attribute that is src, which talks about the URL of the page or the source that you want to display into that page, onto that frame. Right now, I will just mention a page which is called as b.html, which is existing onto my page. And I don't mention anything onto my next frame. So onto my first frame, I have mentioned frame src equal to b.html. We need to write it inside double quotes. And for the second one, I have given frame src, but I have not mentioned anything as an URL file. So let's see what is the output that is going to come. You can see onto my section, which is a frame 50%, I had given b.html file. A b.html file has displayed the specific output. If I try to show you what is b.html having, yeah, this is my b.html file. So you can see it is b.html file which is having a table which has been created inside my table tag. Same thing I have called in my frame set. I divided my frame into two parts, and onto my left hand side screen, that is my first, I have mentioned b.html. Since the source is my table tag file, it has come only on the left hand side. While on the right hand side it's a blank. I didn't mention anything. If I randomly write something, this page is not existing. If I just randomly write and I refresh my page, it will show you. It may be moved, edited or deleted. That means your path is not proper or the file is not existing. But at the same time, if I give again here also b.html, it will display the same data over here. And if I change to A, as that page also exists, so if I refresh, I can see it has come as a different page for me as a.html. So I can simultaneously show few datas together onto my page. Now you can see I can move this page as well. So this is because the frame is divided into 50% each, but not given the attribute called as resize, no resize. So if I give no resize, my page will not move. So if I try to give no resize, and you can see I have given frame src b.html and I gave it as no resize. So since I've given as no resize, here itself when I take my cursor, so when I take my cursor on this, you yourself can see that my cursor has not changing his cursor value to show that you can click or you can enlarge this. But at the same time, when I remove my resize value, when I remove my no resize and I try to run this page again, you can see my cursor has changed once it comes over here, which says you can drag. But when I write no resize, it is not giving me this option. So no resize does the work of not changing the frame structure. It will stay constant as 50-50. Same thing if I want to divide as 30, 50 and remaining I just give it as an asterisk. So let's see how will my frame look like. So when I refresh, I can see my page is divided and this is 30, this is 50 and this is my remaining section. And I can still resize. If I don't want to, I just have to give a no resize for it. You can see over here I have given asterisk. So since two datas are there, the third section has come. So this is how a frame is visible onto the page. Now this same frame, I want to further divide it into rows as well. So this is dividing into column of 3. Now I just want to give a frame which will be further divided. So for example, if I take my middle frame and I try to divide it further, so I will be giving here a frame set tag. So frame set, and I am writing as rows because this is already in the column format. So I am saying that I want to divide it into the row format. And again I give it as 50%, 50% and I give it as row. And as usual I need to give a frame src equivalent to, if I write, just give it as a.html. And I given another frame src equal to b.html. Since I am nesting one more frame set inside a frame set, I need to close this frame set first. So I'll be closing a frame set tag over here, and then I have one more src. So you can see frame set column started where the first column is b.html, that is this table. The middle is further getting divided into row and there are two values for the row, and this frame set is closing. Then for this column, this is 1. Now this is the second column which is divided into row, and this is the third column where the data will come. So let's see what's the output that is coming up. So you can see my data, 3 columns it is, but my second column is divided into 2 parts where the first is a.html. So even my third is given as a.html. So you can see the data has come same, and here the first one was b, and over here also in the second section of my row I have given b. So you can see the data has come same. Like this, you can divide your page into multiple parts depending upon the data, how you want it to be displayed. So you can give like a header, footer, like from top you divide your page into partition. So for example, if I change my columns to row and I try to change this into columns, okay, and what will be the change that has come up? Frame set rows and frame set columns. It will just change the position. So now what was in the column format has turned into a row format for me. So it has divided my page into 3 rows, and the second row is divided into further column. Same is the procedure. You can move in, you can move out, you can even move this because you have not given a row size. So in this format, you can give something which is acting like a header, something which will act like a footer, and something which is some data which is coming on the left hand side. And when you click on the left hand side, the data to be visible on the right hand side. You need to give is a frame name. Now for these each, you have created different HTML pages. So you need to create a page where you will have multiples of links, and on the click of the link, a specific page will be open on the right hand side. You can do it in the similar pattern as well. Let's try doing that by giving a name to my frame. So I just give name is equal to A. And over here I just give for all a name. So name is equal to B. And here again I give name is equal to C. And this is with the name is equal to D. So each frame is given a name. The a.html file is already existing with me where it has this data. Just edit this file and give a hyperlink so that something that I click on, it will display it onto this page. So let's try doing that. So I have here a.html. So I will just open with Notepad. And I just try to give here something as a hyperlink. So I give here a href equal to a data that is like, for example, this is A, so I want to give it as w1. It's a page which is already existing on my screen. So I'm just trying to use that HTML page, w1.html. And I give the data which is like click me, and I close my A tag. Now you can see I have given ahref w1.html click me onto my A page. So when I go back to my browser screen, you can see this is visible. So I just refresh this page. Refreshed my page. You can see this click me has come. So when I click on me, it is taking me to a data which is welcome to formatting tab. It is opening onto the same section. I do want it to open onto the same section. I want it to open on another frame. So for that we had learned anchor tag. When we learned anchor tag, we learned about an attribute called as target. And in the target, we need to give the name of the frame where you want it to open. So I have given now target is equal to C. So let's see what is going to happen. So when I click, you can see it has come onto a different section of my page where I had given the frame is equal to C. So this name of my frame is helping me to give a target to my ahref. So whenever I click on it, it will open onto my page where I give. So if I change the target to A, so it has to come over here in the header file. So when I click here, it is changing here. Same way, if I give my target is equal to D, which is my footer. And if I refresh my page, so my footer will get changed. So in this pattern, you can keep changing the data that you want. So you can divide your page into frame, somewhat like this a web page you can create where you have a header, you have a footer, and you have a page which is in this position. You click on the data and the data will be, if I try to give one more ahref, and I just give this as l.html, and I again keep the target as equal to same the section. So when you click on the first link, it is showing welcome to the formatting tag, which is my w1.html. When you click on the second, it is showing me l1.html file. So in the same way, you can have multiples of link appearing, and for each you are giving a target. So you can create a web page using an frame set tag where you can give one frame on the top as the header, one frame on the bottom as footer, and you can do no resize. So the data will not move at all and your frames will get fixed. And then onto your left hand side you give number of links, and on each link what data is visible that will be coming on the right hand side view of it. So in this way you can create a simple website, as all with the frame set tag and frame. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked my video. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.